I think the last class was understandable by everybody. So today we will be discussing about two things, that is after the formation of zygote, what will happen to the zygote, implantation to the uterus, embryonic development, and the hormones that plays a role during the time of implantation and embryonic development, birth and lactation. So with this we will finish this chapter. So we will try our level best to finish this today itself. So after the formation of the zygote, whatever the resultant happened after the fusion of sperm and ovum, that is zygote. And this zygote will undergo division mitotically, because in humans we are multicellular in nature, so we need many cells, thousands, not even thousands, millions and billions of cells are required for different purpose. And some of the cells will die only at the age when we die. Some of the cells has to be reshed or reformed or newly formed after a particular period of time. So many works to be done. For this we need many cells. So whatever the zygote has formed, this zygote will undergo some division. That particular division that takes place inside a zygote, we will call it as cleavage. And cleavage, word cleavage means just, it is a part of it, but just a division happens. But it is not like a cell division. That means from one, if you consider a one circular cell that divides equatorially, and each half will become a new cell. No, the division will take place inside the zygote that is formed. That is why we call it as cleavage. That means the division that takes place within that zygote is called as, generally the term is called as cleavage. And these cleavage also depends upon the amount of yolk. We had discussed about how the ovum is divided on the basis of concentration of the yolk and the yolk particles. We had discussed that. So here is that the things comes to the effect or play. That is, depending upon the amount of the yolk, the cleavage, there are two types of cleavages are there, which is known as holoblastic cleavage and meroplastic cleavage. Holoblastic cleavage means the entire thing that is present inside that zygote will divide, entire cleavage will take place. Meroplastic cleavage means partial cleavage. So since the humans are alecythal, that means we don't have yolk, so holoblastic cleavage takes place inside the human zygote, that is inside the zygote. And what is happening next is, there may be, whenever these cleavages are taking place, the single cell, after the formation of cleavage, it will undergo, you can see from this diagram, that means in the day 1 the first cleavage will take place, and in day 2 the second cleavage will take place, and in day 3 the third cleavage. That means one cell will become 2, 2 will become 4, 4 will become 16, like that mitotic division takes place. After this mitotic division, it will form into an 8-celled stage, which we call it as morula. That means it's like a shape of mulberry. When these 8-cell stages are formed, slowly this particular cell or this particular morula cell, which is formed because of the cleavage, will start its movement from the fallopian tubule to the destination, that is a uterus, where the implantation has to take place. And this movement is possible because the morulated cell itself don't have the capacity to move, because it don't have any cilia or flagella on them, it has to move. But the fallopian tubules, the fallopian tubules are having ciliated epithelial tissues. That means inside the fallopian tubules there are cilia are present. These cilia, by the movement of the muscular movement of the fallopian tubule, these morula, they slowly started to move. And this, when they are started to move, the morulated cell will not attach to the uterus, and again this morula will further divide. The end result will be a blastocele. That means that morula, which is in the mulberry shape, will become a cell like this. Why it is happen like this? Because it is very easy for the attachment, and it is very easy for the further development. So these particular blastocele or blastocyst, cyst means fluid filled cavity. You can see that in an empty space known as blastocele, means a fluid filled area surrounded by a group of cell. The outer cell is known as the trophoblast, and the inner amount of cell is known as the inner mass. This will go and stick to the embryo. When they stick to the embryo, that particular time the implantation takes place. Before that there will be no implantation. And whenever these changes are taking place, the estrogen and progesterone, they plays a major role. Estrogen will keep the female secondary sexual characters in its peak, because somehow if the implantation takes place, for the further proceedings they need the estrogen, work of estrogen. And the progesterone, which is secreted from the corpus luteum, that also will make this uterus very properly and well fed with blood, so that when this blastocyst will come, blastocele will come and attach, automatically the pregnancy has to be initiated. So this is what takes place inside after the formation of zygote. So it is a tentative day. That means after the fertilization in the day 1, the zygote, in the day 2, first cleavage will takes place, and in day 2 the second cleavage will takes place, and in 3 to 4 the third 4 cell stage will form. And after that 4 days, 5th day, somewhere around 8 to 9 days, it will keep on changing from female to female. It is approximately somewhere around 8 to 9 days the implantation takes place inside the uterus. And whenever this implantation takes place inside the uterus, so this implantation will takes place somewhere near to the middle of the uterus, because whenever if the implantation has taken place, they need space for the growth of the fetus. That maximum space, if you remember the structure of the uterus, that maximum cavity or the space is provided to the middle, so that the fetus can grow properly. And there is one more type of pregnancy is there, which will leads into natural abortion, that is known as ectopic pregnancy. Pregnancy means after the formation of morula, instead of coming and attaching, that means this blastocele has to attach somewhere to the middle of the uterus, where well fed and the proper space for the growth. Instead of that, this will come and attach to somewhere near to the fallopian tubule. If you see here, there is a notice given day 5. If suppose the blastocele comes and attach to that particular area of the uterus, what will happen? There is no space. So fetus may sometimes grow inside of the fallopian tubules, maybe. So even the fetus is growing inside of the fallopian tubules, the fetus can't grow properly in some conditions, and in most of those conditions the body will abort it. body will abort it naturally, which is called as ectopic pregnancy. It is a condition that takes place inside the females. And in one more thing, whenever these cleavages are taking place, there is also a chance of natural abortion. Natural abortion means, if whenever the nucleus is dividing, that means the cytoplasmic nucleus ratio is to cytoplasmic ratio will be almost same, but the size of the cell, particular cell, will be maintained properly. That means it will never increase in its size. So nucleus is dividing. When the nucleus is dividing, meiosis and mitotic divisions will take place. That means the pairing of the chromosomes will take place. If the pairing of chromosomes are not taken place properly, for example, first chromosome, consider the first chromosome. If the first chromosome is not paired properly with another first chromosome, there is also a chance of natural abortion. There is also a chance. Mostly in these cases, natural abortion can take place. And before this implantation, if an accident takes place to a female, knowingly or unknowingly, that also may leads to abortion, natural abortion, not induced abortion, natural abortion. So any of this type, the abortion can take place. So next, after implantation, from that particular period onwards, the gestation takes place. Gestation means pregnancy begins. And the thing is that before implantation, we don't have any device, we don't have any natural mechanism to determine pregnancy early. If we want to determine the pregnancy, the blastocele or blastocyst has to come and attach to the uterus. After attached to the uterus, and this uterus got attached to the blastocyst got attached to the uterus, and the beginning of the placenta, when the placenta starts to form, from that moment only the pregnancy can be detected. Because inside the market we are having pregnancy detection kits, and when we go to the hospital also, they will check for the pregnancy with the help of some chemicals by using blood and in the urine sample. Those things are only possible after the attachment. And in humans, the pregnancy is almost for 40 weeks, almost for the 40 weeks of pregnancy will be there. Whenever the female will get pregnant, different females will get different signs and symptoms. Vomiting, some of them will get nausea, some of them will get morning sickness, some of them frequently pass urine, some of them feel heaviness towards the stomach, some of them will not feel hungry. So those type of symptoms, signs and symptoms will follow. And the detection of pregnancy is missed periods. That means each and every female knows the menstrual cycle. That means when the bleeding is taking place. So if the bleeding is not coming, for example, a female has got last bleeding, that means the menses, consider by August 1st. Today is August 1st, and the female has to wait for 28 to 30 days. It depends upon the female. So consider as 30 days. The next menses has to come by September 1st. Sometimes some females will never get this menses. So when this menses has not taken place, not come properly, so the females may wait for 2 to 3 days. Many hormonal changes are also possible. Many other physical conditions also matters. Food, climate, everything matters. So they may wait for another 5 to 6 or 10 days. So when they go and check, so there will be a sign of pregnancy. So the sign of one pregnancy is, first sign is missed menses or missed periods. But we can't, every time we can't confirm with the missed menses or missed periods, we can't confirm it. So they have to go for a normal checkup by using pregnancy detection kit, or when we go to the hospital through the blood test, they will do it. So in the humans, this pregnancy is totally divided into trimesters. Tri means 3, mesters means month. That means in 3-month formation they have divided. First trimester, that starts from the time of gestation, that means after to the implantation, to it will end by the 12th week or somewhere it will end. And in the first trimester, if you see the baby's heartbeat, the heartbeat started to form, and arms and legs started to begin like a bud, they started to form. And by the end of the 8th week, the fingers to the toes starts to form. And when the second trimester starts, from after the 13th, beginning of the 13th week to somewhere around the 28th week, that will keep on. I have given some calculation, it is copied directly from the net for the understanding. Just in beginning, just remember the weeks. You don't want to do 27 weeks plus 60 days. No need of that. Just remember when is the first trimester, ends when, beginning of second trimester ends when, and what is happening inside, what are the growth that is taking place inside the trimesters. And the baby in the second trimesters, the baby started to hear and swallow, and baby will started to move around, and the cycadic cycle starts. That means the sleeping cycle will start. As we sleep, the babies also will sleep inside the mother's womb. And the third trimester somewhere begins in the week of 28 or week of 29 till the child birth. That is third trimester. And whenever this blastocyst comes and attached to the uterus, the main source of nutrition is through placenta. So here this placenta will form as an endocrine gland. So placenta and the umbilical cord both are different. Placenta is the cake like structure, it looks like a cake like structure which is attached to the uterus, and from the uterus a tube will come to the fetus and attach to the belly buttons. We all have that sign of belly buttons on us. So that particular tube is known as the umbilical cord, and this umbilical cord, in one side it is attached to the placenta, on the other side it is attached to the fetus. So whatever the food, waste, blood, everything will be transfused from the fetus to the mother, and from the mother to the fetus through this placenta and through this umbilical cord. And there are some hormones also can cross this barrier. One among the hormone is thyroid hormone. Thyroid hormones from the mother can cross this placenta and enter to the fetus, because in the first year you have studied that if the thyroid hormone is not secreted properly, there will be a total collapse of growth. Other hormones will never function properly. So thyroid hormones has to be secreted properly. So this thyroid hormone will cross. This is the only hormone which I know can cross placenta. Other hormones are not crossed, but it is already present inside the female. As soon as the thyroid in the fetus, as soon as the thyroid goes into the fetus, they started to do its growing process. So this will be done by placenta. So here for a temporary period of time, this placenta will serve as an endocrine gland. Why it is secreted as endocrine gland? Because they will secrete little bit of estrogen, little bit of progesterone. Apart from that, they will secrete one more hormone known as HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. This is the hormone which signals the pregnancy. When the female is pregnant, this hormone will be secreted by the placenta, and this hormone will circulate all out through the blood, and it will reach to the pituitary also and signals to them that don't secrete follicle stimulating hormone and other hormone because the female is pregnant whenever. And the doctors also check for this particular hormone is present or not, and this will be synthesized only or produced only during the time of pregnancy. Other time it will not be, so this is a sign which indicates pregnancy. This is what the doctors are checking for whenever we go for the checking of blood or pregnancy detection kit. There are antigen antibody binding with that principle. The amount of HCG will be counted. If the amount of HCG will be good, even though a single drop of urine from the female fall into that, it will give some sign, some lines which indicates pregnancy. So these are the hormones which are secreted by the placenta, and it will secrete relaxin also, relaxin hormone, which helps during the labor process, that is to the time of parturition. So whenever it is attached, implantation has formed, then that endoderm, ectoderm, mesoderm, the triploblastic condition will be followed. And I have given here from this endoderm, ectoderm and mesoderm what all are the organs started to form. So just to go through that, you just have to remember that. And whenever this embryo is formed, so you may be having a doubt, embryo fetus, when I call it as an embryo, when I call it as a fetus. From the day 1 till the 10th, end of the 10th week, it is called as embryo, and from the 11th week of the pregnancy, it is called as the fetus. And adult gestation, that means human adult, somewhere around 280 days, that is about 40 weeks. Next comes is parturition is the childbirth, and there are the stages of parturition, that is dilation, expulsion and placenta. Dilation means whenever the female started to give birth, area of the cervix and the birth canal its size will increase, so that the fetus has to expel out. The head of the fetus comes first, not the first time the head comes first and followed by the rest of the body. Next one is expulsion. So after dilation, then the expulsion will take place. After expulsion, there is placenta. That placenta also will be removed out. And you must know what are the hormones that are helping. It is very important. One hormone is oxytocin. This oxytocin is also known as cuddle hormone, otherwise love hormone. This oxytocin makes the contraction and relaxation of the uterine muscles, so that the expulsion of the fetus takes place. Then adrenaline is a hormone, you know that, fight and flight. Whenever there is a pain comes, automatically adrenaline will be secreted. But if more amount of adrenaline is secreted, there will be there may some complication occur during expulsion. Basically, in a normal condition it will never takes place, but in some times it is possible. Endorphins, which reduces the pain, even also it is secreted by the adrenaline. So whenever there is a pain is there, so this endorphins will be secreted, so it will act as a painkiller, natural painkiller. Then comes the relaxin hormones. Relaxin hormones relaxes the pelvis and widens the cervix. It functions with the oxytocin, and it will makes the expulsion of the fetus. The next one that is coming is prolactin. This prolactin is known as mother hormone, which helps to secrete the milk. And oxytocin is the hormone which helps for the production of the milk. Secretion of the milk, both are different. Production means during the time of birth, mammalian glands has to synthesize it, So that time the oxytocin will do its purpose, milk will be synthesized, then the prolactin will be secreted. That time the baby can suck the milk. So whenever we have studied about the female reproductive system, there we missed one part known as the mammalian gland. So here I have forgot there, so here I am putting that picture also. So this is one of the picture of a mammalian gland. Mammalian gland is derived, it is a modified sweat gland, and if you see this mammalian gland, it is made up of fat tissues. Maximum is the fat tissues, and inside this fatty tissues there will be lot of canals and ducts, areolar ducts, muscles, and these lobules what is present inside the mammalian glands are responsible for production of the milk, and these lobules are connected through the duct, and it will end to near to the nipple surface, not very end to the nipple, just back of the nipple surface. And on the nipple surface we have the areola, that means dark colored circular tissues, the circular part will be there, and that dark color part will get stiffened and loosened during the process of milking, that means during the process of mothering. So it happens in all the mammals, in cows, humans, everywhere it happens. So whenever the baby is sucking the milk, the areola tissue will become hardened, so that the nipple will be in a good shape, so that a baby can suck. Otherwise it will loosen and there will be no hardening. So these are the things you have to know from this particular chapter. You can go through that. I have given what are the nerves that supplies blood to that, and other questions I have given. Along with that, I have given some MCQ questions. These MCQ questions are almost I think 150, I think so, somewhere around 140 to 50. So go through all these questions. There are some questions are there which is nowadays it is not asking even in CBSE exams or in the NEET examination, but go through that. Once it was asked, there was some changes, so that now they are not asking. That is the only reason. So just to go through that, and there are some assertion reasoning questions are there. So if there is any doubt or anything, please comment below wherever I am posting this video. Thank you.